Hey everyone, and welcome back to Speak English Naturally, the podcast that helps you learn real English through real stories. I'm your host, Daniel, and whether you're listening on your commute, relaxing at home, or taking a walk, this is your space to get inspired, learn, and grow in your English journey. Here, we don't just talk about grammar or vocabulary. We talk about people, real learners who've turned their challenges into motivation. So, grab your coffee, sit back, and let's jump into today's episode. Today's guest is someone who found creative ways to master English, from singing songs to shadowing movie dialogues. Her story is full of tips you can use today. Please welcome Clara.
Hi, Daniel. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
We're thrilled to have you. So, tell us, where are you from? And what made you want to learn English in the first place?
I'm from Milan, Italy. And to be honest, English used to feel like just another school subject. I learned it because I had to, not because I wanted to. Grammar lessons were confusing. All those tenses and exceptions. It felt like an endless puzzle. But things changed when I realized how much English surrounded me. It was everywhere. Movies, music, social media. I started to feel like I was missing out whenever I didn't understand something. Then came the turning point. A trip to New York with my friends. I couldn't express myself at all. Ordering food, asking for directions. Even simple things were stressful. That trip made me realize I didn't just want to pass English tests. I wanted to use English to connect with people.
That's such a relatable story. So, when you came back home, what did you do to start improving?
I decided to immerse myself in English as much as possible. I began by watching movies and TV shows in English. At first, I used Italian subtitles, then switched to English subtitles, and eventually turned them off completely. Honestly, it was really hard in the beginning. I'd miss half of what people were saying and had to rewind again and again just to understand one sentence. But I kept going. Over time, I started catching more words, more expressions, more meaning. I also listened to English songs every day. I'd sing along, even if I mispronounced half the lyrics. Music helped me improve my pronunciation and made learning feel fun instead of stressful.
That's a fantastic method. But I'm sure there were some tough moments, too. What were your biggest challenges?
Definitely. The biggest one was feeling overwhelmed. English is full of idioms and phrasal verbs that don't translate directly. I remember thinking, why does give up mean to quit? And how can pick up mean so many things? The other challenge was speaking. I was terrified of making mistakes. I'd plan sentences in my head, but freeze when it was time to talk. My confidence was low, and I felt stuck for a long time.
That fear of speaking is so common. Did you have any funny language mix-ups while learning?
Oh yes. Once, after a big dinner, I meant to say I'm full, but I accidentally said I'm fool. My friends couldn't stop laughing, and they still tease me about it. But you know what? I never made that mistake again.
That's such a great example of learning through mistakes. How did you eventually overcome your fear of speaking?
I started small. I'd talk to myself in English while cooking or cleaning. Things like, now I'm making coffee, or I need to go to the store. It sounds silly, but it really helped me feel more comfortable. Then I joined a language exchange app where I could talk with people from other countries. At first, I was nervous, but most people were patient and kind. They didn't expect perfection. They just wanted to communicate. That made me realize
Making mistakes is normal. The more I spoke, the less afraid I felt.
That's a great mindset. Were there any specific techniques that helped your listening and speaking skills improve faster?
Yes, my favorite method is called shadowing. I'd listen to short audio clips, like from movies or podcasts, and repeat them exactly, trying to copy the rhythm, pronunciation, and tone. It was like karaoke for English. It helped me understand how English actually sounds, not just how it's written. I also listened to podcasts while doing daily chores. At first, I used transcripts, but later I stopped relying on them. Even if I didn't understand every word, I could usually get the main idea. With time, my listening comprehension really improved.
That's a really smart approach. Now let's talk about vocabulary. How did you manage to remember all the new words?
That was tough too. I used to learn new words and then forget them the next day. Whenever I heard or read a new word, I wrote it down with an example sentence. Seeing the word in context helped it stick. I also used a spaced repetition app called Word Loop. It reminded me to review new words at just the right time so I didn't forget them. And I made sure to use new words in conversations, even if I wasn't 100% sure. The more I used them, the more natural they felt.
You were really consistent. That's inspiring. Were there any online tools or communities that helped you along the way?
YouTube was huge for me. I followed English learning channels that focused on real-life communication, slang, idioms, pronunciation. I also read English blogs and newsletters to expose myself to different writing styles. Later, I joined an online book club where we discussed novels in English. It was so fun. I got to practice speaking, learn new vocabulary, and make friends from all over the world.
That's such a great way to combine learning and fun. Now that your English is so strong, how do you keep improving?
I still treat English as part of my daily life. I read in English, watch documentaries, listen to English podcasts, and even write my journal in English. Writing especially helps me slow down and think about how I use words. I'm also learning to understand cultural references and humor, those small details that make conversations feel natural.
That's fantastic. Before we finish, do you have any final advice for our listeners?
Yes. First, be patient with yourself. Learning a language takes time. You won't become fluent overnight, and that's okay. Second, don't be afraid of mistakes. Every mistake is a step toward improvement. And third, make learning fun. Watch your favorite shows, sing your favorite songs, talk with people online. When you enjoy the process, you'll never want to stop. Lastly, surround yourself with English. Change your phone settings, follow English-speaking creators, or think in English. The more you live in the language, the faster it becomes part of you.
Beautifully said, Clara. Thank you so much for sharing your story. It's been inspiring and packed with practical advice.
Thank you, Daniel. I hope my experience helps others feel confident about their own English journey. Remember, fluency isn't the destination. It's the road you travel every day.
I love that. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Speak English Naturally. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who's learning English. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep speaking English naturally. See you in the next episode.